The Tampa Bay Motor Cars Instagram page where I take pictures of cars, and I do this quite often. I go to car meets and I take pictures of cars, but I also take pictures of my car. And I thought that most people who own a cool car or like cars like taking pictures. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to take pictures of your car easy. All you need is a camera of some sort. You can use your phone. It's pretty self-explanatory to use your phone though. You can just use portrait mode. I have some pictures that turned out really good. I'll pop those up now. This is not a very fancy camera. This is not a fancy camera that costs $1 million. This is a very old camera that literally my parents gave for me to use. Most of the cameras nowadays that are all fancy, they use the screen to take pictures. This, you have to stick your eye in there so that you can actually see everything. You can use the screen, it's really unreliable. I'll show you guys. However, I do have to get a card. So look at how slow it is. And autofocus does not work, so you have to switch it on manual mode and focus everything yourself. This will be your best friend, okay? This is an SD card to USB, and it takes your camera SD card and you put it in here, and then you plug it in your computer, and that's how you get all your pictures. Flip that. Look at that. That is a good picture. I got the sunset behind it. The car is perfect looking. And that's how you take a good picture. Like flash off and all of these. I have been using all of these settings right here for a year. Never knew how to actually work the camera. But recently, I found out how to use manual mode. Now, this thing right here, that is basically the brightness. So if you crank this up, it'll get darker. If you crank it down, it'll get lighter. But also, it could get blurrier, fuzzier. It's the shutter speed that it affects. And I take a picture. It's darker, right? If I put it down and I take a picture, it's lighter. ISO is the ability to capture light. So changing the ISO will change the sensitivity to light that it has. I normally keep it around 400 for the daytime, and then I like to keep this up to 1600. Honestly, I'm not too sure what this does. I'm still learning things. There's other settings you could do. I like continuous shooting because it makes the pictures come out better. With metering mode, I like to have evaluated metering. And then I use AI focus. And then portrait. Now, there's multiple different lenses you can get. This is just a 50mm lens. As you can see, 18 to 55mm lens. Or I guess 58mm, as you can see here. One thing you want to focus on is always keeping your camera clean. It can get very, very dirty, and it can damage it and scratch it. Yeah, because, I mean, even just now I can see that there's smudge on it. And now it's nice and clean. Avoid anything that could scratch it at all times, which is why you always put your lens cap on when you are not taking pictures. A stabilizer, turn it on and off. Manual mode. Now, manual mode on the lens is pretty self-explanatory. If you have it on automatic, then it focuses for you. Like when you hair on the button, you hear that? See, it goes like that. And then what you always do before you take a picture is you hair on it, so it focuses, and then you take the picture. With manual mode, you focus it yourself. No robotic noises or anything like that. As you can see, we got all this stuff right here. Place it down. Take this, screw it off. Then you take it off like that. Normally there will be see, that's the mirror face. As you can see, there's these two dots right here. See, there's a red dot right there, so you want to match it up with the red dot carefully. And then twist. And now this lens is on. Just to practice, it doesn't have to be on a cool car. You could do it on this Pathfinder right here or the Silverado. However, I am going to do it on my G37. You just gotta visualize everything. If you get low and there's an angle like that, it could turn out well. So, I mean, just take off the lens cap. Did not mean to do that. See, you want to look through there and visualize it. And it turns out well. Now, if I want the brightness a little bit darker to give it more depth, I'll go down. I'll make it darker a little bit. You won't be able to tell through the lens. You'll only be able to tell by results. So that way you can get a cool little tire picture. There you go, cool little tire picture. That's a little dark though, so I'm gonna put it around 1250. And that turned out good. To stabilize. A nice picture of this wheel well, right? So it's a little zoomed in. So I don't have the backup. So I'll take more pictures. That looks good. Now I'll review with all the pictures with you guys because it's really hard to see on the phone. But I will review with all the pictures when I'm done, and that way you will be able to see some of the angles I'm doing. Look at this close-up. That's good. And then I got this close-up of the wheel. I got the wheel perfectly straight, looking good. There is a grid of dots. I can actually show you guys. Look. So there is a grid that looks like this through the camera. Try to match up every picture you want to focus on, match it up with this middle dot. Now, for even more close-up pictures, like, for example, headlight pictures or taillight pictures, angles you would want to go with are like something like right here, but you want it to be zoomed in, so you'd go a little bit higher, like right here, from this like angle probably, and I'll show you guys the result of that in a second. That camera angle, this lens is too big, so we're gonna have to switch lenses. Brightness down a little bit, and then I'll make the ISO 200. Now we got all these. Once again, don't be afraid to get low. That's how you get these good, nice close-up pictures. I mean, that's the hood one. That's the low. And then if you're able to park the car in like a cool stance, once again, you could go for a different style one. So, headlight picture. So there's a taillight picture. You can turn the lights on and off to help with your pictures too. I'm just not doing that. Got your pictures taken. You got everything perfect. What's the next step? The next step is getting these pictures off of this camera. Take the SD card out of your camera, just like so. You're going to plug it into your computer or device. You're gonna go on Google Drive, click new folder, and you're gonna name it Cars for Video. You're gonna click on it, you're gonna click File Upload, and you're gonna wanna go to the USB drive and get all of your pictures off of the drive. To this, you're gonna download Adobe Lightroom, and this is how you're gonna edit your pictures. Once you get Adobe Lightroom, you're gonna make your own presets, experimenting with all sorts of different things, and once you do all of that, you're gonna get the pictures you are looking for.